Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Media Critiques podcast. Today, we're doing a movie that we both didn't really like, Batman Bad Blood. So let's just get into it.
Well, this is also a continuation of this Batman storyline. What was the one
Yes, the
before this?
Batman animated universe. It's Son of Batman, and then the sequel was Batman versus Robin, and then this is like the end of a kind of trilogy, Bad Blood. And can we just say we didn't like Son of Batman or Batman versus Robin either.
Correct.
And I think this is made by the same like director or something, so it makes sense.
All right, so the recap. Talia captures Bruce in order to probe his mind and program him. After rescuing him, he later turns on the Bat family. They end up stopping him and taking down Talia.
I'll be right back. I have to open the door for my mom.
Okay. Okay, guys, let's open up a Pokemon thing. Let's see what pulls I get. Oh, he's back. Let's see, Raichu, Vicente, Bronzor,
Did you open a
Mudbray.
Pokemon card? Did you do that? Did you record the whole thing?
I'm doing it right now. You're interrupting me.
Okay, I'm sorry. Show me the cards. I want to see too.
Ranunculus. Dude, you're so far away. Mist Energy. I'm literally near the end already.
Roselia.
Roselia. A nice reverse.
Mr.
The fucking
Mime.
mime thing. Also a reverse.
Russ.
I have like 20 of these already. Roaring
Moon.
One of the ancient ones. I just got this one. It's a hollow. Then I got a basic leaf energy.
Are you guys
Bad
playing
hand.
the game?
No, I just want the pretty cards.
Okay, whatever.
I'm not a fucking nerd, Marco. Okay, back
Yes,
to the
you
horrible
are.
movie.
Yes, you fucking are.
Not like that. I read comics.
I think that's even worse of a nerd.
I would beg to differ.
Okay, whatever. Back to the movie. I found Damian Wayne to be a lot less annoying in this movie than in the last two films we've seen him in, and I think that's because he's not as big of a part of the plot than he was in the last two movies. Honestly, I'm glad he wasn't the main focus again because I feel like I'm just tired of him, you know?
Okay, I'm still struggling with this because I can't get over it. They set him up as like this intelligent mastermind, okay? And in this in this movie, he doesn't know who Kate Kane is. And there's this scene where Damien asks Dick who Kate is, and Dick is like, "Oh, you don't like it's not like don't worry about it." And Damien's like, "Okay, I guess." The issue I have with that is, first of all, I feel like Damien should just know. Second of all, even if he didn't, what is stopping him from searching her name and very clearly seeing that she is Bruce's cousin? Like,
yeah, I was gonna say that exact same thing. Like, shouldn't Damien know from the start because he's Bruce's cousin?
She's Bruce's cousin?
Yeah, you get what I meant. But yeah, shouldn't he just know that because they're related? Like,
yes.
What?
Yes, and it's like, ugh, it feels like this was a scene that was put in here just for people who don't know who Kate Kane is. And at that point, it doesn't make sense because people watching this, I feel like, are going to be Batman fans. And if you're a Batman fan, you should know who Kate Kane is. So I don't get having this scene because it also makes Damien look stupid. And what have we been shown the past two previous movies? He's supposed to be this intelligent fucking weirdo loser kid. We haven't gotten that, and it makes me angry.
Things either come too easily for him, especially in the fighting sense, like that time when he like literally ripped his arm out of a sword. Like, things either come too easily for him or he doesn't think through things at all. It's one or the other. It's never anything in between, and it's very frustrating.
Yeah, they've written his character so inconsistently, and it's so stupid.
Yes. I'm pissed off on what they did to the heretic. You're telling me Talia made a clone of Damien, and the clone has some interesting thought process and character, and the writers just decide to kill him off without having that much of an interesting plot? Why did they even put him in this movie in the first place if you were just gonna kill him off? Honestly, that annoyed me. Like, I feel like he could have gone places.
What? Okay, I don't really remember the previous movies because I don't need that in my brain. Is Talia different in this movie? Can we talk about that?
Okay, literally, I wrote this down. I made a bunch of movements because when Mal said that, because I got excited. Here's my thing. I was going to talk about this later, but I feel like all of the characters felt out of character except for maybe Damien in this movie. Talia especially was out of character. Let me make this clear. Talia was always a very concerning douchebag in the last movie we saw her in, but she still cared for Damien, I think, in some weird fucked up way. And I feel like in this movie, like, she was like, yeah, I don't care, you can die. I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense. Like, yes, you had a fucked up version of love, but I feel like he's still treated and cared for your son in a fucked up way, you know? Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
And I feel like the way she killed me people more casually, and I feel like she was a lot more harsher and just a lot more fucked up in this movie than in the last movie we saw her in. And it doesn't make sense because this is a continuation of the last movie, Son of Batman. So it just didn't make sense in my head.
Wasn't she straight up a damsel in distress in the previous movie?
Yes, she was.
Okay. And now she's just like killing a clone of her son? Okay.
Yes, yes. I just felt like it was all the characters here were all over the place. I feel like yeah, I'm gonna get more into that later, but yeah. I've mentioned this before that I don't like possession like stories, mostly because it's always the same plot of this isn't you, you can fight back, and then the character does fight back. And I just feel like it's overdone, and this movie did not change my mind. I feel like it only proved my point.
I wish Bruce killed himself.
Oh my god. Imagine that. That would actually be an interesting plot point.
It
That
would
that
have.
would be something interesting, something new, fresh. I mean, Batman dying isn't fresh, but you know what I mean.
I feel like nowadays I am much more open to storylines where Batman dies and like we get to see more of the Bat family. I also just don't like this version of him, so I would have loved if he killed himself.
Yes, yes, like this continuity of Batman doesn't make sense. Batman is such an asshole in these last three films of the DC animated universe. He just doesn't make sense as Batman anymore. Like I feel like a lot of the decisions he made in Son of Batman and Batman versus Robin didn't really make sense. And here he was just a huge asshole to Nightwing especially, which felt unnecessary. Like I feel like Batman did not think about what would happen to me if I died, you know? And so him getting I feel like Batman should have at least thought about that before and had like some kind of contingency plan. And if not, he should have been at least somewhat okay with Nightwing taking over the mantle, you know?
Which, okay, you bring up the contingency plan, which, like, that's sort of his thing. Like, he has a contingency plan literally for everybody and everything. So, like, okay, anyway, yeah, this is a bad Batman.
Yeah, because I haven't watched that much Justice League in a long time, but I specifically remember there was this plot line of if the Justice League ever turned evil, Batman had a plan for that. And I feel like him not having a plan for his own death, it just doesn't make sense. And it was so frustrating. And let me talk about the other characters being out of character. What happened to Batman's no killing rule? Excuse me? Like, okay, so Alfred killed two people in this movie, and I feel like he should have reacted in some way. He just made like a little quip about it, and it just felt really off character. Like I'm like, okay, you literally killed two people. Excuse me.
Especially since he made a big fuss about Kate using guns in the beginning. And then the
Yeah,
man who, like, basically raised him, he killed two people. It's great. No, it's great, honestly.
yeah. And then there was this one person who had a literal rock fall on him, and then Nightwing like he just like looked and I don't know, it felt so out of character for Nightwing and Alfred to like be okay with death around them. Like I don't know, it just didn't make sense.
There's also the scene with Damien where where one of the villains fell and he tried to like pull him back up, but the rope was cut. And for someone whose whole character growth plot was don't kill people, I really expected more when he wasn't able to save that one guy. Like it wasn't his fault that he died, but it didn't make sense for it to be played off as sort of an unserious moment. Especially when like literally in that moment he was like, what was it? It was like not revenge or something like that. And then like, oh haha laugh, like the guy died anyway. What wasn't the ending of the last movie literally this like Damien like being upset that the guy killed himself? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
like Damien was like, don't kill, and then he pulled the rope, it was cut, and he all he said was, "Uh-oh." I think that's what he
Yeah.
said, and I was like, "What? Excuse me?" Oh my god, I don't know. Like Damien, he didn't make complete sense, but he made more sense than Nightwing and Alfred in this movie, which isn't saying much, honestly. I feel like Batwoman is a really interesting character, but I wish they would have given her a standalone movie or something because I think this movie got a bit too busy with her and Batwing. I keep calling him Nightwing, Batwing being added to the plot. Also, I did ask Mal before this, but I was like, Mal, is Batwoman the type to date a cop? Because personally, I felt like from what I saw in this movie, it didn't make sense. But then, Mal, you explained to me. Would you like to explain?
Well, yeah, and I said, no, it makes complete sense for her to do that because she was in the army, and the only reason she left, well, the ones that I've read, the reason she left was because she was dishonorably discharged for being gay. So, Yes, it makes totally complete sense she'd date a cop.
Wait, no, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense because you're telling me you'd get discharged for being gay, and you would still like feel the same exact. I don't know. I just feel like character growth. You know,
I'm pretty sure she still wanted to be in the army.
even after
I
that.
might be wrong on that. I might be wrong on that. But I really don't remember a story. And I'm not like an extensive DC like comic nerd, but like I feel like the stories I've read, she wasn't happy that she left the army.
I don't have words. I don't have words for that. I feel like by that point you need help. And honestly, I can't be the one to help you in that scenario. Like, get some help. Anyways, yeah. I just felt like it was out of character and I did not like it. I don't think she's poorly written. I think she was a bit overwritten in this movie. And what I'm saying specifically is I feel like we did not need that flashback because everything we have learned about her, we already did learn from that scene with her father or that scene where she was talking to Nightwing. And I feel like that flashback could have been used on Nightwing instead because I feel like we need more time of him explaining what it was like for him to be a child while he was with Batman. Or it could have been used more time for Batwing.
I think she was badly written.
Do you? What
Yes.
what parts do you think were poorly written?
I just don't fucking like her.
You just
I
don't like her?
Well, I'm neutral about her as a character, but in this, these fucking writers just suck ass. Like, I just don't like her in this.
Yeah, I was trying to be more kind because like she's a lesbian, so
Marco, I'm giving you permission.
kidding,
You
I'm
don't
kidding.
have to be kind. I know that you
No,
love lesbians and you are our biggest allies. Please be mean to her.
okay. No, I just feel like I could see where she was going, and I think I liked some parts of it, but at the same time, I feel like the writers did such a poor job with these characters. So yeah, I feel like Batwoman got too much time, and Batwing didn't get enough time. I think I enjoyed Batwing a lot more than Batwoman. Here's the thing. Mal, you mentioned this before, but so does Batwing not have a military background in the comics or like in the source material at all?
I don't think so. The most
Hmm.
I know about him was that he was a good mixed martial artist and he was very smart. And from what I know about him, he was never in the army and he never had an interest in joining the army.
Just to make this clear, Mal and I are very anti-military, and we're just not interested in characters who are, you know. So I feel like the other than the military part, everything else I did like about him. I feel like he was interesting. I did like his powers. I think he was just a fun character, and I feel like I needed more time with him and less time with Batwoman because Batwoman we already established everything about her pretty quickly and pretty successfully for the most part, and I just felt like there wasn't enough time with Batwing, and Batwing was like left on the side a lot.
I also feel like the addition of him being a soldier did nothing for his character or his plot line in this because I feel like him just being good at like mixed martial arts and being smart and then having that situation where he sees his dad almost die would still lead him to becoming Nightwing. We didn't have to have this thing where I was like where he was like I left a war and I came back and now this and it's like what are you talking? Like, what? We didn't need this because we still could have gone to the conclusion of him becoming Nightwing without him being in the military.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I was gonna literally say like it was so unnecessary. I feel like he could still become Batwing without him being in the army because like the writers clearly wanted that to be his motivation, but it felt very unnecessary. Okay, I feel like this was never explained, but why did the person working for Talia decide to kill Talia in the end? I was very confused by that. Like, am I missing something?
Technically, we don't know.
Oh, we
Do we?
don't?
Is she? Well, it was left on a cliffhanger. We didn't technically see her die.
Okay, but why did that person working for her decide to attack her?
Well, I'm assuming that she was following more so the clone than like Talia.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
after she killed him, she was like, okay, I guess I gotta kill this bitch.
Yeah, I just like I don't know. I just felt very frustrated by this movie. And by the end when Talia like was shown to be dead question mark, I just couldn't help but be like, is that it? I kind of want to laugh at that point. I feel like Nightwing becoming Batman was poorly executed, and I think this is mostly because we didn't get that much time for him to marinate on why he chose to become Batman in this movie. I feel like I wanted more of his thought process, and I definitely did need a flashback of just a moment that made him like think this is what I want to do now that Batman is dead, quote unquote.
It's not that he wanted to do it, it's that he felt like he needed to in order to maintain like normalcy and balance.
Yeah, I do agree with you, but I feel like it still didn't make sense for him to like become Batman right away because like I feel like there would have been something holding him back, you know? That may just be me, but I just needed a bit more time for him to like think through this. and explain why he was doing it, though that might just be me.
No, I think it makes sense for him to just immediately be like, I guess I gotta be him now until he comes back.
Okay. And all I have to say is Bruce Wayne was an asshole in this, and that's it.
Okay. Let's see. I guess all I have to add... Okay, so that line about Dick having a crush on Kate when they were kids. So, their family. Maybe not blood related, but Kate is Bruce's cousin, and Bruce adopted Dick. Dick admitted to having a crush on his aunt.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! How did I not notice that? Oh my god!
So, just so you know.
No, you could. Why did you have to mention that? Oh my god.
Marco,
Oh my
are you surprised based off the previous 2 movies? Are you surprised they do that?
I'm not surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed. Oh my god. I would have been better not knowing that, not realizing that.
You're welcome.
Is this one of those scenarios where, like, I suffered through this, so now you have to too?
Well, I honestly thought you would pick up on that because I don't know. He straight up was like, "Yeah, I got a crush on you." Like, and it's just like, you know, sometimes you keep things to yourself, Nightwing. But also, genuinely, I feel like these writers are just weird little perverts based off the things that they've already put in here. So I don't know. I thought maybe you're just like numb to them being weird about it.
No, I completely forgot. I didn't even realize that that's what was being insinuated. Here's the thing. I knew that Bruce Wayne and Batwoman are related. I think her name is Kathy Kane?
Kate
Kane? Whatever. I knew that they were related. I think it never hit me, though, until now. Anyways, let's move on.
I mean, I'm gonna have to stay a little bit inside the incesty vibes because clone Damien being like, to Talia, I want to know you and love you and feel you in my blood. So these writers need therapy, I think. I think they need a little bit of therapy.
This made the movie way worse for me.
Oh. I hope that affects where you rank it.
I think it will.
Okay, so Kate Kane says to Damien, "My god, kid, your mom's got game. Let us not forget this bitch drugged Bruce and took advantage of him. She is not serving cunt. She is a danger to society." Okay, so the plot of this movie is that a group of the most influential people on Earth get together on this ship under false pretenses in order for the baddies to brainwash them. The ship then gets damaged and starts careening towards the city. Incredibles 2 did it better.
It needed to be said. And I'm proud of you.
But the fact, just like, it all hit me when the ship started careening into the city, and I'm like, this is literally Incredibles 2. Like, I know Incredibles 2 came out after this, but it's literally the same plot! It's literally the same plot! Except for, you know, the weird incesty vibes and, like, you know, military stuff, and just, like, the bad characters.
The weird, very concerning mother figure, and son clone who wants to fuck their mom. Oh my god.
But, like, also, yes, why did... Okay, so... before we find out that he's...
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Meow. 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 Meow.
Marco.
What?
Did it save? Did the recording save?
Yeah, the recording's still going.
Oh my god. Not. I could not have recorded this.
We had so many good moments so far too, so...
Yeah, what was I saying? Clone Damien, since minute 1, it always felt like he wanted to fuck Talia. So, like, once again, these writers, their search histories, somebody needs to look into them!
Overall, I think this is a really bad movie. The characters didn't feel like they were who they're supposed to be. The only thing that I really liked about this was Batwing, and maybe a little bit of Batwoman, but not really now that I figured out that she's a military woman. And I don't know, I just feel like I could have liked her. But then, decision after decision, I couldn't agree with her. Batman was an asshole in this, and I feel like he's been an asshole in every single movie in this continuity we've seen so far. And I just feel like they need to change things up soon. I mean, they probably already have by now. This one came out in 2016, but I'm getting tired of this continuity and I want it to change soon. How much longer of this continuity do we have anyways?
I don't know. I can't remember. Where's our list, Marco? Because I can tell you.
Okay.
Actually, I think I could just tell you if it was a good or bad movie.
So our next one is The Killing Joke. It's the next one.
The Killing Joke. Yeah, different Batman.
Thank God, honestly, because I'm getting tired of this Batman. I'm getting tired of the DCAU. Is that what it's called?
I don't remember.
Oh,
And
whatever.
I don't want to talk about it.
I think we're both tired from this continuity.
Yeah, just like this this era of DC animated movies were such a disappointment for me, at least.
You know, I've only gone into these animated movies this year, but I agree with you wholeheartedly. I just like there were decisions made in this movie that did not make sense. I don't like how the clone ended. I feel like there could have been more done with him. Talia, even though she was a terrible character in the last movie, I feel like she was even worse in this, which is so frustrating. Yeah, this was just a bad movie. Other than the, weird incest thing. It was a bad movie, even without it.
So, Marco, we've established that you don't like the movie. I don't like the movie. We don't like the weird incest. We don't like the weird military stuff. What's so baffling to me is how apparently this movie got great reviews. So,
Excuse me?
it got great reviews, Marco.
What? Are you kidding? Is this a joke?
Marco, it got great reviews.
Oh my god. Wow. I don't have words. I'm done.
I think these characters were written badly, and the story was weird and infuriating. I believe the only reason people liked this is because it's dark and edgy, and people eat up dark and edgy Batman. It's also horny, but like weirdo who's never touched a boob horny, which is probably most of the people who liked this entire series of Batman movies in the first place. Also, this movie just made me want to read Batman comics so I'd get an actually good version of Batman. And that's it.
Okay, Mel, I asked you this before, and I'll ask you this again. If you had to predict where you would rank this from S to F, where would you rank it?
D, and I want to make it very clear once again that the only reason it's a D and not an F is because F is a category I've specifically decided to put Batman movies where there is literal sexual assault in it.
I thought you put another movie in F, though. You also put... Oh, you put the last movie. You put Batman. You put Son of Batman in F, which is the one with the sexual assault. But you also put the next movie, Batman vs. Robin, in F.
I did? Okay. Wait, I did? I put it in F?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, well, then I also put this in F.
Okay.
For some reason, I thought, you know what? No. And I'm right on that, because in this storyline, Talia is still a sexual predator. So yeah, F.
You know what? I did not like Batman vs. Robin, but I think I didn't like this more. So I think I'm also going to put this in F. I mean, like, I think, like, Batman vs. Robin also did not make sense. Because, like, there was also this, like, really interesting plot point that ended really quickly without much fanfare. But I feel like this was more frustrating with how out of character the characters were. And also Talia was way worse, too. And I think in Batman vs. Robin, we didn't even see Talia. So, thank God. Anyways, I'm also giving this an F. Anyways, you guys, that's our thoughts on Batman Bad Blood. If you want this on a voice message on Spotify or Podcasters, they'll be linked in the description to do so below. We also have social media, which will all be in the description, and that's everything. So goodbye.